Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat for Career Mode. Today we go to both Richmond and Talladega in the Xfinity series here today. Richmond, a track that I struggle at quite a bit in NASCAR Heat 3 at times, but once I kind of got a custom setup down, we were pretty good here, but I'm not running any custom setups going into today at Richmond. We're trying to get through the whole Xfinity season without running a custom setup. In the Cup Series, there's definitely going to be some tracks where we will definitely need some custom setups, but either way, not a good qualifying effort from myself coming into today's race, so I was not very confident coming into this one at all. Now as the green flag is out from P24 here at Richmond, so looking for win number 2 on the season, unlikely to come here at Richmond, but hopefully we can make the best with what we have as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2 for the first time here today, or tonight at Richmond International Raceway. Now as we exit turn 2, heading down this back straightaway, losing some positions on this opening lap now as we cut down in front of Josh Williams as we go down through turns 3, turns 4, there you see Mike Lynette. He actually slid up the track just a little bit now as we try to look to the inside of him as we come through to complete the first lap here. The Richmond race only 13% as we go down towards turns 1. I'm starting to mix it up a little bit more, making some races 13%, 25. Now as we come through, making some contact there with Mike Lynette and making some mistakes, and I dropped down to P26, but as we came through to the white flag in stage 1, which was only a handful of laps later, we had climbed up to P23. Now as Justin Haley's going to try and take us 3 wide, now as we have the 38 on our inside as well, in the middle of a 3 wide with him and Josh Balicki now as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time. Not a good stage effort at all as 10th place would cross the line, so we would get credited with P25 here in stage 1. So not a good effort for us, and I was not very confident. I was already looking at maybe changing up the strategy. Basically at the end of stage 2 we maybe come to the pit lane, put 4 tires on, and hope that that will pay off in the long run on the final stage now as we would get ready to go green here from P25 to start stage 2. Our Stewart Haas Racing teammate Cole Custer leads the way as stage 2 is underway. Not a good race for us so far here at Richmond, but I do still at this point had some hope that maybe as the tires would wear, this would play into our advantage a little bit more now as we make it 3 wide up the inside through turns 1 and turns 2. There's our other Stewart Haas Racing teammate of Chase Briscoe down here in the mid-teens. There's like a sideways on the exit of turns 2 as we go down towards turns 3. There's Ross Chastain, our rival. We look up the inside of him now as we come out of turns 4. Obviously, he's not been very happy with us lately as we make contact with Chastain. He gets sideways, but he hangs onto the car as we go down towards turns 1. Certainly last episode at Texas didn't go over well with Ross Chastain. That was certainly a big moment of our season now as we would continue running at this point P19 as we came to lap 6 of 9 in this second stage as we went down towards turns 3, starting to slowly move our way forwards now as you see myself passing Jeffrey Earnhardt to take over the 18th position here with just 3 to go, and we would actually be able to climb up to P17 as we came to the final lap of this second stage. Justin Haley, who was just in front of me, had been driving away at this point as we exit turn 2, heading down the back straightaway sideways again towards the back of Vinnie Miller as we go down towards turn 3. He runs up to the top, and now we have the 66 trying to get to my inside, but he doesn't have enough. As we exit turn 4, we will get credited with P17 here in stage 2. So an awful first 2 stages. Stage 2 at the end, we started showing some hope, and I decided that we have to make a call here to come to pit road and take 4 tires and 2 cans of fuel. This puts us all the way back in last of 38th position. But I was pretty confident that we could maybe at least work our way forwards. Obviously, if we don't beat 17th place, then the call wasn't worth it. Now, as the green flag is up, the final stage is underway here at Richmond Raceway. Now, as we come through to cross the line, it is going to be only 11 laps to go here in Richmond as we go down towards turns 1. I was just trying to figure out where to go because you see some 3 wide action already, but I jump up to the top lane and try to make that work the best we can. Now, as we exit turn 2, heading down this back straightaway, there's our rival of Ross Chastain as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4 on the outside of Chastain as we come through the center of the corner. He might try and get in our way, but as we exit turns 4, we get clear of him and look to the outside of the 89 of Morgan Shepard as we briefly get into the wall there with 10 laps to go as we cut down through into turns 1 and turns 2, approaching the back of the 13 of, I believe that's Joe Jackson if I remember correctly now, but we would get ahead of him and continue moving our way forwards as we came to just now 7 laps to go up into the top 25, looking to the inside of Mike Lynette as well as Mike Harmon closing in on the back of our other rival of Elliott Sadler, but slowly continuing to move our way forwards, running out of time very quickly, though, unfortunately, here in Richmond area. As we look to the outside of Jeffrey Earnhardt, we will continue moving forwards here as we were approaching 2 laps to go. Now moving up into P17 as we had passed the 78 cars. We exit turn 4, and unfortunately, it just didn't quite look like we were going to be able to run down Ryan Sieg, because as we came to the final lap through turns 1 and turns 2, closing in on Ryan Sieg, but John Hunter Nemechek leads the way through turns 3 and on the exit of turns 4. So John Hunter Nemechek will win here in Richmond as we go down into turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time here at this D-shaped oval. Just happy to get this race over with as we would cross the line to finish in a disappointing 17th place here at Richmond. But obviously we got to win. That puts us in the playoffs so we can have races like these. Obviously it's reminding me a bit of the trucks, but I think our consistency is a little bit better than the Truck Series, but we're still having our ups and downs. But we come straight through now to the Talladega race for the Xfinity Series. This one I jumped up to 25%. I think we're going to try and make it like 13% race to start the video or something, and a 25% race to end it. But that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. But we would get ready to go green. Obviously, from the back of the field, you can't qualify very well at plate tracks, and maybe if I had a full-blown custom setup, we could have, but I just didn't want to invest the time in the Xfinity Series to just put a full-blown custom setup in the car. But either way, the green flag is out. We have Austin Cindric leading the way as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2 for the first time here in Talladega. There's our rival of Elliott Sadler on our outside. We already know that's going to be a problem, so I'm trying to get as much of a gap built between us that I can. So you see me making some aggressive 3-wide moves on this opening lap now as we come through turns 1 and on the exit of turns 2, heading down this back straightaway. This is where we might struggle a little bit here down this back straightaway on the opening lap after a restart. Usually our pace doesn't seem the best on restarts like these now, so go down towards turns 3 and turns 4 up in P35. Obviously, stage 1, 5 laps. We have some time to work our way forward, so hopefully it won't be too much of an issue now as we exit turn 4. We got Michael Annett actually pushing us down this front straightaway, so that means that he is a driver that actually doesn't have a problem with us. He considers us as more of a friend now as we come through the tri-oval, crossing the line to complete the first lap up inside the top 30 after 1 lap here in Talladega with 4 to go in stage 1. So not a bad start to say the least here in Talladega as we go through turns 1 and turns 2, continuing to make it 3 wide as we look to the inside of Jeffrey Earnhardt, the number 18 IK9 car. We would climb all the way up into P15 as we came to the white flag in this first stage, and you can see up ahead it's just this pack racing gets kind of weird for some reason. Like, it kind of gets spread out, and I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it's a setting I have, but I have everything set to narrow and just condensed racing, so it's a little bit weird here on this final lap in the first stage, trying to push Jackson up to this group of cars as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time here in stage 1. Michael Annett trying to look to the inside, but he can't quite get to my left-hand side, so I now get down in front of Annett as we exit turns 4, leaving Jackson out to dry as we head down this front straightaway for the final time here in stage 1 through the tri-oval. Now looking to the inside of, I cannot remember who that was that we passed there, but we look to the inside of the 15 as we would cross the line, and it would be a 12th place finish here in stage 1. Considering where we started, I was pretty confident with the pace in the cars. Jeff Green actually wins stage 1. And there wasn't really a need to pit at the end of this first stage, so we would stay out and get ready to go green from the 12th position here with Noah Gragson in front of us. Obviously, we're battling with him for Rookie of the Year here in the Xfinity Series now, as the green flag is back out and stage 2 is underway here at Talladega on the outside of the 7 of Justin Allgaier for Junior Motorsports now, as obviously we have his JRM teammate of Gragson, like I said, just up ahead now as we're going to get right on the back bumper here of Gragson as we go down towards turn 1. So hopefully we can continue to work our way through the field here in this second stage. We would love to have some points, but obviously being on the outside, not the best preferred lane on the restarts, especially at plate tracks. Really, still, I don't think the preferred lane at any track, just like NASCAR Heat 3. It would be really nice if we could choose our lane, if we were especially leading the race. But there you see some contact, actually, with Jackson as he kind of crowded his way up in front of me. So we drop down to P15 as I drop in behind Balicki there through turns 3 and turns 4. There's BJ McLeod there in the 15 as he's on the outside of Balicki as we exit turns 4. We're going to actually get up behind him and try to make a move on the outside. Then I decided, okay, that's probably not the smartest idea. So I get back down in behind the 15 at this point of McLeod there as we push him through the tri-oval as we come come through to complete the first lap here in this second stage. 4 laps to go in stage 2. These stages aren't very long there, as I had a big run and made some contact with the right rear of Balicki as we went through turns 1. Now we have a push coming from behind from the 35 as we come through the center of the corner. Maybe a chance to look to the inside of Balicki, and sure enough, we have the run now as we head down the back straightaway, so we would get past him as we continue to use that draft from the car up ahead. There you see Austin Cindric and Nemechek were working together on the top, but we had actually gotten linked up with Brandon Jones as we came to the final lap in the second stage. And once again, you see what I was talking about up towards the front kind of seems spread out for some reason. It's very weird and not something that's good at all now as we head down this back straightaway for the final time here in stage 2, pushing Brandon Jones as much as I can. I was committed to pushing him right up to the end of the stage at this point now, as you see the 30 or the 93, I think that is, of Jeff Green trying to look to the inside there as we make contact on my left rear, so he pushes me out of the way. Jones and myself get disconnected now as we're gonna have to fall in line, and just in front of the one of Michael Annette as we exit turns 4, heading down this front straightaway side by side between the two JRM drivers, Allgaier and Gregson, for the stage victory as we come through the tribal, almost looking to the inside of McLeod as we would come through to cross the line here to get P10 in stage 2. So the final stage point, not too disappointed with that. I was pretty satisfied, but obviously I think we had more pace in the car to finish better. Everyone would be pitting, so I decided we're going to come in and throw 4 tires on the car, and unfortunately we dropped down to P21. Once again, we didn't need 4 tires, but I threw 4 tires on it anyways, and it puts us down a little bit. So once again, we got to regain all that track position back now as the green flag is out and the final stage is underway here at Talladega, and it's going to be about 14 laps remaining, so definitely plenty of time to move our way back throughout the field. I mean, realistically, if we were extremely aggressive, we could be up in the top 10 within 2 laps, but obviously we're going to make sure we don't make any silly mistakes there. As you see, Cindric just about getting hung out, but he slows up everybody behind him. Kaz Gralla was the car right behind him there as we have Ross Chastain, our rival, on our outside, so we know that this could get a little bit interesting now as we head down this back straightaway here. And as we came through completing the first lap in the final stage, there you see Chastain still on my outside, crowding me down to the apron as he's trying to cause an incident, it looks like, as we're going to go 3 wide with the 78 now as we come through turns 1 and turns 2, just doing whatever I can to get ahead of the 4 of Chastain at this point. Thankfully, we do get ahead of him, and we wouldn't have to deal with him any longer now as it came to just 5 laps to go at this point, running in P15, pushing the legend himself of Mike Harmon as we came through turns 3 and towards the exit of turn 4, trying to get ahead of John Hunter Nemechek there as we would do just so now as we look to the outside of Harmon, because we have a chance to get to our teammate of Cole Custer, who's up on the top, but not moving forwards as quickly as I would have liked. But obviously with this draft, we would continue moving forwards. But here is something weird that happened. So I went into the pause menu a few laps later, and as soon as I came out of the pause menu, a caution came out, and I was very baffled by that. But there was 3 laps to go at this point, so something I haven't really had in this game. But this would set us up for an overtime restart here in Talladega as the green flag would come out. We restart in P10, so definitely have our work cut out for us. I think that caution was a glitch because, like I said, I was in the pause menu, and as soon as I came up, the caution came out, so it was very weird now, as I believe that was a glitch back in NASCAR Heat 3 that got patched now as we go through turns 1 and turn 2. You can see already, not a good restart for myself here in Talladega. In overtime, Austin Hill in the 61, our Truck Series teammate, on the outside, so we can't be too afraid to maybe help him out now as we head down this back straightaway. A lap and a half remains now as you would get inside behind Cole Custer and Chase Briscoe as we had started this final lap at this point back inside the top 10 as we went down the back straightaway here for the final time in Talladega's 3 SHR cars lined up on the bottom, both of them currently my draft partners, Custer on the front, Briscoe in the back now as we go down towards turn 3. Doesn't look like we're going to be in a winning position as we come through turns 3 and turns 4, and it's currently BJ McLeod leading the way as we exit turns 4, heading down this front straightaway. The 5 of Mills puts the pressure on him now as we look to the inside of Custer. Gregson in 3rd, but it's McLeod leading through the tri-oval, and McLeod will win in Talladega as we come through to get a 5th place finish. So McLeod is now in the playoffs if he can stay within the certain points requirement. I'm not sure what it is for Xfinity, and the Cup Series is top 30, so I think it might be like top 20 or top 25 for Xfinity, but either way, BJ McLeod in the playoffs. A great run for him, and as always though, if you guys did enjoy this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very appreciated. In the next one, we're actually going to have a hot seat for the Cup Series at Talladega, and it's going to be with the 51 car, so the goal is the top 33, so hopefully we can complete that with no issues. I don't think I'll need to turn the AI down for that one since it's a play track. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.